In this video, I'm going to show you how to train your brain to remember names a lot better. Let's go. Hi, I'm Tansel, four-time Australian memory champion, helping you learn faster and better. If you're into personal development, please subscribe and like the video if you think it's helpful. Now let's get started. In a prior video, I went through how to remember names. If you haven't seen it, I'll put the link down in the description. And that was going through a workshop on how to remember names a lot more effectively. Now, there's a lot of techniques out there, skills, tools, resources, how to do that. But how do you actually train for remembering names? In this video, this is what we're going to talk about. And I'm going to show you some methods that you could quickly go and practice for remembering names. Because it's not like you're going to go on every day and remember people's names, especially when we're in isolation, right? It's a bit difficult to actually go outside and meet people and so forth. But we do have some tools and resources already in place to train and practice this skill. And when we do head out there after lockdown, you watch your memory excel all of a sudden with remembering names. So I'll go through a few of those things for you now. Number one is training on social media. Now, social media, you'll see a lot of names, obviously. People's names, maybe job titles if it's something like LinkedIn, maybe their handles, like if it's Twitter, Instagram, and so forth. So you've got a lot of information there in terms of grabbing abstract data, in this case names, and being able to encode that, which is what remembering names is. Like I said, if you haven't checked out the remembering names video, I'll put the link down below and you'll be able to see how that's done. But at a very basic level, it's just essentially word association. So if someone comes up to you, they say their name is John, maybe picture them in a toilet, right? In the Western world, John means a toilet, so you can picture that, right? If their name is Sandra, think of sand in their hair or something like that, or sand in their bra, who knows, right? So you're making the association up through the words. Now, how do you train that? As I was talking about earlier, social media, you can go through the list of names, and as you're going through the names, visualize them, right? Visualize them. So if you do come across someone named Steve, visualize the guy that you're seeing. Okay, he's really stiff, he's straight. Maybe you're picturing the word stiff for Steve. Maybe you already know a Steve. So you connect that Steve onto that person. Maybe they're giving each other a hug, or maybe they're slapping each other. Whatever it is, you can make that connection with the name, right? So that's a really cool technique to go through. Social media, and I absolutely love this because I used to always go through LinkedIn, memorizing the names and connecting them with their job titles as well. So if there was a Frank who worked as a CEO, I'd imagine a Frank that I knew, a friend of mine, and he was in such a high position, CEO at this company, that of the cleaning company or something like that. So I visualize in my mind someone I know in that position, right? Another way you can do it is to connect it with a potential location. So if you met an Elizabeth, well, I think of Queen Elizabeth. Okay, and Queen Elizabeth, I might picture Buckingham Palace. So you picture that person, Elizabeth, in Buckingham Palace. And it's a really good connection there. So you can play on the name, like John Toilet, as I mentioned. You can play on the name as in the actual word itself. So Sandra as in sand and bra, and Elizabeth as in location. So there's quite a few techniques in there. But to practice it, social media is a very great tool to get going and get you started, because there's essentially unlimited amount of names. So you could have a few hundred followers on your social media, but you can also go on other people's lists and check out their friends, or just get on Twitter or Instagram. I mean, there's thousands of people out there. So really, really cool training to just use social media. Okay, number two. Number two is using a website called Memory League. Now, I'm not an affiliate or connected with these guys at all. I just use it for all my memory training, and a lot of my friends and people that I love and connect with, even my colleagues and a lot of my clients are on this website, and it's fantastic for names training. So there's a few events on there. Some of the events are like remembering random numbers, remembering images, also random shuffle decks of playing cards. So it's more based for memory competitors so to speak, like myself, but you can go in there and just train. And it has two names events. One is for your normal everyday name, and one is even more challenging, international names. Now, obviously, this goes out to an international audience. I get that. But once you do click on international names, you'll see why it's international. So very, very difficult. So if you wanted to train for names on a more difficult level, then international names is a cool one to go to. So when you go to Memory League, what you can do is click on the names. I think you got to register. So after you've registered, click on the names, and it's almost gamified in a way. So they might give you level 1 is remembering 4 names or something like that. So you remember those 4 names, yay, and then you go to the next level, 5 or 6 names, and it just keeps sort of increasing from there. So if you want to test yourself and get better and better and better, Memory League is an excellent way to go. Now, there is a subscription fee if you go over a certain level, but it's hardly anything. So if you're really serious about memory training, definitely go for it. Like I said, I'm not really affiliated with this site or anything like that. I just think it's awesome training website. So get in there. You'll also meet other competitors. You can play against each other as well. I'll probably record some footage and video of me training on Memory League. I've already done that a couple of times in my previous videos, but I'll do a bit more just so you can see how to actually train for names, train for other little events and techniques as well. But in this video, like I said, it's all about training for names. So Memory League is the second one, which is pretty cool. And finally, the last one, there's probably no surprise in this one, but people that you know. And look, there's a ton of people that we know, but it could be an organization that you already work at. You could have an email list, so you can go through an email list. Now, this has come from clients that I've worked with when they said, look, they access their database or they've got an email list and there's a ton of people there, and which is great. And not only that, but sometimes you just know these people as well. You see them around, you know the names. So it's actually great to associate, not just play around with the name and create stories and images, but you can connect those names to the people's faces, right? Some social media, you can't do that. Now, obviously they have pictures and so forth, but some of them don't, especially if you're doing like Instagram or Twitter or whatever it is. But some of them, if you have people that you know, the list, then it becomes a bit more exciting. So 3 things in summary to train your memory with, right? The first one is going through social media, right? You can go through LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever it is, Instagram. Second one is training using Memory League. So you can go to memoryleague.com. And the last one is training with the list you already might have. So it could be, like I said, your mailing list. It could be a corporate list that you've already got access to, emails, whatever it may be. So that's plenty to actually train your brain on. Let me know if you've discovered another way of training names and it's really cool and you want to share it out there with people. Please message down below. We're all in this together to learn, so please go for it. And any questions, let me know. If you do like this video, click the like button and obviously subscribe if you like more of this content. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.